Chapter 85. Thank you. Thank you, Yudhir. I will never forget this favor. Thank you. Truly thank you. Yudhir bowed his head, watching the siblings repeatedly express their gratitude through tear-filled eyes. Until now, it had mainly been a stroke of luck. If he had been even a bit later, Devron's family would already have been dead, and Devron himself might have been dragged to the Abeto Duchy. No need for thanks just yet. Save it for when we have safely escaped this place and reunited with Gakane and Jimmy in the castle of Lord Hutton. Gakane and Jimmy, they are here too? Yes, but they are within the castle, so contacting them will be difficult. Don't go inside. Use your power to create a fire big enough to be seen from the castle. Gakane will recognize it and come to you. Of course, Gakane would assume that Yudhir was the one who started the fire, but he would soon realize that was not the case. Yudhir had faith that Gakane, with his level of judgment, could easily evacuate everyone safely. After all, wasn't he a seasoned veteran who had endured relentless training for a week without even a moment's rest? It wouldn't be an exaggeration to say that among the current cavalry members, there was no one who could perform their duty as excellently as Gakane. Understood. We will help too. As Devron nodded, other prisoners who had been leaning on each other raised their hands and boldly spoke up. Among them, the one who had been imprisoned the longest said he had been there for over 3 months. Looking at the teary eyes filled with hope and gratitude, Yudhir felt slightly strange. He wondered if it was because he had never saved or rescued people in his past life, or was it something else? What abilities do you possess? To rid himself of that nagging sense of responsibility, Yudhir quickly asked them. Most were physical enhancement users, and a few were elemental ability users like Devron. Yudhir, lost in a thought for a moment, slowly opened his mouth. Form a circle with the elemental users and ordinary people in the middle, and the rest surrounding them for protection. We have encountered several people on the way out of the cave, but none were awakeners, so they should be easy to subdue. Once outside, do not return no matter what. Go straight to Hutton's territory and join my group. He also told them to leave Hutton's territory as soon as possible after the reunion. Zakil Hutton was there, and so it wasn't a place they could linger. So, what will you do, Yudhir? I'm going to deal with the warden and follow after. Will you be alright alone? How will you? I got here by myself, and I'm fine. To be precise, he wasn't completely alone. He had the uninvited guest Nahan with him, but he didn't bother mentioning that. Devron gave him a look that seemed unsure whether to worry or to be annoyed, but quickly nodded his head in understanding. I see, you're strong, you'll be fine. There's always at least a mage where those bastards hang out, so be careful. The torturers are skilled swordsmen, not to be underestimated. The information that there might be more than one mage was useful, so he made sure to remember it. Before we go, wait a minute. You there, your name was Dermila, was it? Yes. After ending his conversation with Devron, Yudhir signaled his younger sister to come closer, beckoning her with a low call. Even while Devron was with the cavalry, time in Hutton had kept on flowing. The odds were high that she, who had long kept a secret relationship with Zakil Hutton's brother, would have more information. Zakil Hutton seems to be the provider of all events. Do you happen to know anything, Lord Zakil? Darmila was much more perceptive than expected and possessed a remarkably steadfast character. As soon as she heard this question, she opened her mouth as if she had guessed the situation they were in. Oh my, does that mean Lord Zakale is targeting Hutton? Perhaps. Ah, I see. Somehow I always believed that Lord Zakale never abandoned me. He always used to say that he was suffocated by the excessive ambition of his family. The Lord wanted to arrange Zakale's marriage with a nobleman from another village to increase his family's influence. And Lord Zakale, he always wanted to acquire without working for it. Acquire without effort. Wasn't that exactly the situation Zakale was in right now? Instead of responding, Yudhir merely smiled faintly. You seem to have a good eye for the people. You seem to have a good eye for people. Yes, although he is a noble, he is a truly honest and admirable person. However, even he had been fooled by Zakale's schemes, hadn't he returned to the knight's order? Judging by his promise to return, it seemed that he had not completely believed in the death of his lover, but it must have been difficult for him to understand his sibling, who was constantly plotting while confined within the territory, given his own busy schedule as part of the knight's order. There is a high possibility that he believes your family is dead by now. Yudhir added that the villagers believed Devron had killed his family, set their house on fire, burned down half of the village, and then committed suicide in prison. They had to prevent the 3 family members from showing their faces to the villagers in case they spread the truth. It might be a little worrying, but once we are completely out of here and into the safety of the capital, I'll contact him. Oh, by the way, Dermila, who was obediently nodded, suddenly turned her gaze as if she remembered something. A few years ago, Lord Zakale apologized to me with a regretful face. He told me that he accidentally revealed to his brother his plan to marry me and leave this place forever after establishing a new base in the Knight's Order. But he also said that since neither of them could inherit the territory or the title, they could keep it a secret to that extent. I forgot about that after he said it, but maybe. Although it wasn't essentially helpful information, it seemed sufficient as a motive. The feelings of competition against 2 rivals and only one were no different. Perhaps Zakale Hutton had been dreaming of the impossible from that time. Also, there were many rumors that Lord Zakale was a worry to the Lord because he quit school in middle and returned a year ago, continuously wandering around the nearby villages without any reason. A year ago, after he returned, did he not show any strange behavior in relation to the Awakeners? It was very strange, really. Frankly, I thought the reason he fled to the capital was because that person treated him with such hostility. That person particularly despised those who awakened and gained power. That's enough for me, Dermila. I hope you never return to the village. Also, I found this in your burnt house. I'll give it back to you if you need it. Now that he had found that Devron family was alive, the double brooch picked up from this house served its purpose. As Yudhir showed her the double brooch, Dermila's mouth gaped open. That's... Yudhir gently nodded, indicating that she should take it. Dermila, her face filled with emotion, carefully accepted the brooch from Yudhir's hand. Yudhir almost regretted giving it back too quickly, seeing Devron's grave, uncomfortable expression as he watched his sister's joy. Now, those who want to leave should go. Remember all the precautions I have told you. Yudhir whispered a few tasks to Devron to carry out when he met Gakane and Jimmy. Among them was a message to inform Kishir of the current situation as soon as possible. He could use the public communication device in the next village. The imprisoned who were released began to make their way out of the cave as soon as they wrung out all the information they had learned while captive and relayed it to the other. Ah, right, I forgot to talk about the three who fainted on the way out. Just moments after Devron and the previously imprisoned had disappeared, Yidhir had remained of the small detail he had forgotten as he heard the muffled screams. The awakeners, having removed the bombs attached to their bodies, gained freedom, overflowed with willpower despite their weakened state. Indeed, the stronger their will, the more powerful the abilities they manifested. Yidhir hadn't considered the possibility that they might not escape regardless of their health conditions. Now, all that's left is Keol, the Diarca, and Yidhir turned his head towards Nahan, who had quietly observed his actions. The one hidden by illusion let him out now. You have found out. That guy must be the companion you were looking for. Yidhir had noticed that the number of people Nahan had bought from the prisons and the actual number of people inside were exactly 1% off. Since then, Nahan had been overly quiet, as if hiding something. Yes, you are right. At Yidhir's words, Nahan moved his fingers, and the dark cave wall next to him peeled away to reveal a boy with a pale face. Yidhir was slightly surprised to see that the one Nahan had hidden was so young. The boy seemed to be the same age as Jimmy. He was undoubtedly the youngest among the imprisoned. He had this young boy purchase all the food and goods for your bandits? No need for suspicion. This little brother has a power that optimized for that kind of work. Nahan responded with a cold smile to Yidhir's gaze, which was as if looking at garbage. What kind of power? The power to make friends.